The next iPhone is coming next month. No, not the iPhone 18, the iPhone 17e. After the lukewarm reception of the iPhone 16e, the iPhone 17e sure has a lot to do to redeem itself. And it looks like Apple is doing a lot to make the iPhone 17e a pretty great deal. Let's talk about it. First, the design. The iPhone 16e was based on the iPhone 14 design, a 2.5-year-old design at that point. So naturally, the iPhone 17e should be based on the iPhone 15 design. This means the phone will feature more contoured edges, making it feel much more comfortable in the hands compared to the completely flat design of the iPhone 16e. The bigger change is the 6.1-inch display, as it'll essentially be the exact display from the iPhone 15, meaning it'll finally gain a dynamic island, and it'll also gain the 2000 nits max brightness from the iPhone 15, though compared to the iPhone 17, it has some big compromises. It's smaller at 6.1 inches instead of the full 6.3-inch display on the iPhone 17, combined with thicker bezels. It also lacks ProMotion and always-on display, and it's also 1000 nits dimmer than the peak brightness of the iPhone 17, which is 3000 nits. And it lacks Ceramic Shield 2, meaning it's weaker and more reflective. But compared to the iPhone 16e, this is a huge upgrade. Next, the chips. Like clockwork, the A19 chip is going into the iPhone 17e. This brings a pretty substantial 15 to 20% upgrade in the CPU, but a pretty substantial 30 to 40% upgrade in the GPU. Though much like the iPhone 16e, the A19 chip in the iPhone 17e will likely be binned to feature a 4-core GPU rather than the full 5-core GPU in the iPhone 17. For the modem, Apple will likely be sticking to a C1 series modem with the iPhone 17e, no C2 yet, though it's unclear if it's the C1 or C1X. I'm betting on the C1. Apple could also be adding their N1 Wi-Fi chip to the iPhone 17e, but it's not entirely sure if they'll do that. If they do, that means the iPhone 17e will finally support Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread networking. It's also unclear if Apple will add a U1 or U2 UWB chip, but I think it'll be a huge miss if they don't. To put it into perspective, the iPhone 11, the oldest device supported by iOS 26, has a U1 ultra wideband chip, while the iPhone 16e does not. This means that using accessories like AirTags with precision finding or the HomePod or HomePod Mini is significantly limited. So hopefully Apple at least adds a U1 chip to the iPhone 17e. Speaking of features to add to the iPhone 17e, MagSafe. This was one of the biggest misses with the iPhone 16e. Removing MagSafe from a phone after 5 years of MagSafe on the iPhone didn't make any sense. We now live in a world where some Android phones, like the Pixel 10 series, work with MagSafe accessories thanks to Qi 2, but an iPhone, the phone that debuted the technology, does not. But finally, with the iPhone 17e, Apple is adding MagSafe. It's unclear if it'll be the older first-gen 15-watt MagSafe from the iPhone 15 and older, or if it's the newer 25-watt MagSafe from the iPhone 16 and newer. But either way, it's MagSafe nonetheless. And either way, it'll still be faster than the abysmal 7.5-watt wireless charging of the iPhone 16e. Now, the cameras. The iPhone 17e, much like its predecessor, will still feature a single 48-megapixel Fusion camera. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the camera hardware is completely unchanged from the iPhone 16e. The bigger change is the front camera, where Apple is bringing their 18-megapixel center stage camera from the iPhone 17 and iPhone Air to the iPhone 17e as well. This has been a huge hit on the flagship iPhones, and it'll now be brought down to the cheapest iPhone. This will also enable some features enabled by the center stage camera, like dual capture, and since the iPhone Air supports action mode with a single camera, I wouldn't be surprised if Apple adds this feature to the iPhone 17e as well, though that could also be due to the iPhone Air having a physically better sensor. What about battery life? This was actually a huge strong point of the iPhone 16e. Thanks to the extra space in the phone gained by removing the second camera and the efficiency of the C1 modem, the iPhone 16e battery was actually better than the flagship iPhone 16. Well, since the iPhone 17e is actually slightly taller than the 16e, thanks to that new iPhone 15-like design, it gives Apple more room to fit in an even larger battery. And in iOS 26, adaptive power mode is enabled by default on all iPhone 17 and iPhone Air models. Combined with the C1 modem and likely the N1 Wi-Fi chip as well, the iPhone 17e could likely feature better battery life than even the flagship iPhone 17. So, all of this sounds great, but it means nothing if Apple doesn't stick the landing with the price. In my opinion, I think the iPhone 17e will still start at $599, the same price as the iPhone 16e, but now featuring 256 gigs of storage as standard. The main reason why I say this is if this phone has a 128 gig standard at $599, the pricing would make absolutely no sense, as the 256 gig model would only be $100 less than the base model 256 gig iPhone 17. In my opinion, 256 gigs base at $599 is the only way for this phone to become worth it. While we're here, I think this could give a good opportunity for Apple to slash the price of the iPhone 16e to $499, making it the new cheapest iPhone in the lineup. In addition, this could also give Apple the opportunity to discontinue the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, with this device taking their place, making the iPhone lineup the most simple and most competitive it's been in years, offering an iPhone option for just about everyone. In terms of release, February 2026 seems like the most likely scenario. This would be exactly 1 year after the iPhone 16e launched last year in February 2025. Apple is apparently planning to start mass production of the iPhone 17e right after CES 2026, which usually occurs about a month ahead of a product launch. It'll likely launch in the same way as the iPhone 16e, where there's no event, but likely a launch video instead. Now, I also predicted that Apple could hold a March 2026 event for the new base $600 MacBook and the Apple Home Hub device. So, potentially delaying this device to March to include it in that March event is also a likely scenario, but we'll have to see. Aside from the 18 Pro MacBook and the Apple Home Hub, Apple will also announce a new A19 iPad and M4 iPad Air alongside an M5 MacBook Air this spring as well. So that's what to expect from the iPhone 17e. What do you think about this device? Will you be picking one up? Let me know in the comments.